All of a sudden, they were confused and then amazed. Could the same words not be used to describe all of us in this moment of global pandemic? All of a sudden, we were ordered to stay home, navigating an entirely new reality. We're confused, or at least I am, about what this all means and where we go from here. But yet, there's something about this time that's amazing. And just like the disciples in this moment of Pentecost, I can't help but give credit to the Holy Spirit. After the ascension, I'm sure the apostles were feeling ridiculously lost. In the last 7 weeks, we've been hearing all about what they've traversed. After they watch their teacher and friends suffer and die, they bury him, begin to grieve, and then he rises from the dead. We all know this had to cause some serious emotional whiplash. And it doesn't even end there. He continues to spend time with them. He guides them through this challenging time. And then he leaves again. Sure, he commissions them to go and make disciples of all nations. And he's modeled that for them throughout his entire ministry. Yet, do they really know what this means? Do we really know what that means? And even more importantly, can we find it amidst all of the fear and fog that COVID has stirred up in our world, our lives, and our hearts? For me, sitting with the readings for Pentecost, I can't help but feel a little jealous of such an obvious display of the Spirit. I kind of wish that all of a sudden my windows would fly open, a fire would burn in my non-existent fireplace, and my roommate would start speaking in tongues. I'd be absolutely terrified if that happened, but I could use that kind of energy in my life as I continue to worry about where we're going in all of this chaos. And then I begin to think about what it would have felt like to be there with the disciples that day. While speaking in tongues is quite amazing, it doesn't seem to me that it gave them the magical answer for what they were called to moving forward. If it had, I feel like we would not hear so much from Paul. Clearly, the early church had some things to work out. And aren't we feeling the same today? This huge thing happened, so big that we're craving clarity and safety. And I'm not sure that we're finding it so readily. And yet, like the disciples at Pentecost, in some sense, I'm beginning to feel pretty amazed at what's been happening during this time, at how resilient we all are. Sure, we are isolated, confused, and scared, but we've also been reaching out more often, acknowledging our larger human connectedness, and showing each other a whole lot of compassion and care. Here at St. Giles, we've received an abundance of food donations and have been able to make 2 deliveries a week. While it's been strange not to be in our church, I feel honored to be a part of caring for those in need through this ministry. And this is only one example of the goodness all around us, and that's quite amazing. So, like the disciples, all of a sudden, we're confused and yet amazed, and we begin to look forward. We begin to traverse a world that is reopening after weeks of staying at home. We may not have the clarity we're hoping for, but neither did the early church. Well, look at what they accomplished. We are here today because of their trust that the Holy Spirit was guiding them. Jesus left them, but not alone. He left them with a memory of his example, which they kindly wrote down for us, and the Holy Spirit to be their companion along the way. We have these same tools, and I know for me, I just hope I trust them enough to follow. I want so badly to see the road ahead so I can feel safe and secure as I begin to walk. But I'm called instead to surrender and be led, to begin walking even though I don't know the way, to trust that the Holy Spirit will inspire me. Where am I being called right now? What resources do I have to share? Who can I comfort? And what within me needs some healing? I have so much faith in all of us and the goodness we have to share. And so I hope that this Pentecost, we can lean even more into the confusion and amazement and trust in the way of the Spirit.